but I'm just out here running a Traxxas Hoss and my MT8. They're both actually on 3S, and we're losing a lot of light. I left the gym a little bit early. I wanted to get these out and run, so trying a new Gen Ace LiPo in here, so hopefully the notifications kind of went out. There was my Willet bar. I don't know why I didn't put zip ties on there yet. Need to make a note of things I need to make adjustments on. There we go. Hey, what's going on? Just going live for a few minutes. I left the gym early and went to... Haven't driven my Hoss in a while. And I was kind of fiending in a way to get a Stampede 4x4 brush with lights on it, the new color scheme, but I was like, no, just drive what you got. And you got a new rival down here too with lights, so don't know how clear the video is, but figured I'd get live for a minute. I see you guys, a couple of comments coming in. I'll get to y'all in just a second. Come over here and we'll switch out cars real quick. We'll drive the rival and see what's going on in you guys' RC world. So what's going on, y'all? John says, too funny, I just picked up a solar flare Hoss today. Yeah, these Hosses, I mean, between this and the Stampede, there's just a love for those cars. So man, I'm doing good, Evan. How you doing? Video's good, sounds good. Okay, cool, I appreciate it. I know these live videos could be very interesting. And this rival is actually on it's on 3S. I did put 100K in the front diff. I haven't done anything to the rear diff yet. Or I'm sorry, 100K in the center diff. I wanted to test some of these lights out at night too, so I went back to the stock tires and I'll be doing some diff oil changes probably tonight with them. With this, I gotta look at my Skeeter and do some work on that too. So you guys are coming in, so I'm assuming you're asking which truck I like the best between these two. It's kind of a hard comparison, only because one is a 6S truck and the other one is a 3S truck. But I like both of these trucks. Actually, I'm gonna tell you guys, I like all the RC cars I got. I can't think of, look at that, on 3S riding a wheelie. I don't think there's one RC car that I currently own that I just hate. I mean, it's like, I gotta run this thing or work on this thing. I think if you leave some of these cars in their manufacturer configuration, you may be good. I'm trying to see about, I know it's getting dark out here, so. No! Oh no! Just tearing my body up. How am I gonna flip on 3S? On 3S all the way down here. Got the long walk of shame. So how many of you guys out there bought a Traxxas sledge? I'm curious to hear that. I was actually sitting in the back of my SUV, so that's why it probably looked like these cars were so far away. I'm curious to know who's picked up a sledge so far. There's people driving by like, what the heck is he doing over there? That little parking lot. One reason why I'm kind of running this on 3S, 6S, and 4S would probably be too much out here. So I see you guys comment on a couple of things. If you guys can, hit that like button for me. Well, Edmund, glad you're back. Yeah, to smell the new RCs, you can't beat it, so. Kevin asked, did I own a 6S X Max? I never bought a 6S X Max. There were so many issues with it. I did a video a couple years ago. I think some people didn't like it. So Metal RC said he hasn't bought a sledge yet, but he plans on it. And Captain said his next is going to be the Baja Raid 2.0. I never bought a 6S X Max because they had issues. It's pretty funny. Everybody wanted them. They got out of stock. I ordered one, and it was back ordered forever in a day. And that's kind of what started the whole Traxxas not using, or companies not using coupon codes and stuff, because I think some of the hobby shops were not able to sell their stuff because Tower Hobbies had some huge discounts. But not only that, the 6S version, when they first released it, had issues. It had diff issues and cars were catching fire. And I was actually surprised that Big Squid got one. They reviewed it, and I'm surprised more or less, not so much they got one, but they reviewed it. And on the first pack, they said in their review, they stripped the diff, and they still gave it an A+ rating. And I was like, wait a minute, you stripped the diffs and you gave it an A+ or A- rating, I should say, which is still a good rating. So I never got one because I saw people, they were catching fire, stripping diffs on the first run, breaking parts and stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. If you're gonna get one, just get an 8S and run it on 6S. So, all right, you guys are coming in. Yeah, appreciate that, Addicted RC. Yeah, hit that like button for me. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, yours caught fire. Yeah, I saw all that. So what's going on, SG? Yeah, John, you could probably sell your eRevo 2.0 and get a sledge. I think that would be a good, fair sell and trade, or at least put some money down on it. Somebody's coming in from Hawaii. What's going on, the Duke RC? Yeah, this MT8. It is sick, and it is a good bang for the buck. For $508, you may be able to catch a coupon code somewhere. You get a pretty good truck. I mean, next to this and then the Skeeter, those are good trucks. Regardless what people try to say about, I guess, Team Corrali trucks and cars and all that, their newer models they come out with in 2022, so far, the Skeeter and the Kronos have been very good. I think that a lot of times people just don't know how to drive. I mean, they crashing into stuff and all that. You guys know I beat my Kronos when I took it to the BMX track, and I landed bad maybe once or twice. I landed real bad when I did that like 30-foot jump, and I did break the rear turnbuckle, but that was it. My Skeeter, you guys saw what I put that through, and it pretty much survived. So I'll have those out pretty soon. The Skeeter, the Kaiju, this rival, and the Max V2, and I'll do some videos on that. All right, I'm gonna drive this Hoss some more. I thought about maybe the light kit for the Hoss, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that just yet or not. So, oh sweet, somebody just got a Talon 6S EXB. Yeah, that's a beast too. I gotta get mine back out. I bent the rear drive shaft. The one thing about having a lot of cars, I know some people ask me about this, and since we don't have that many people on, and maybe people may see later on, is that you start breaking stuff, you got to start repairing stuff, and you got a lot of cars you got to repair. So that's the one thing about it. So on my EXB Talon, which I was gonna race it against my Morocco XTR, I got to replace that rear, one of the rear drives, because this kind of is bent on. It's not gonna perform well, but What's going on, RC Miami? Yeah, you caught me on live. What's up, the Goodwood? I see you guys are coming in, so I appreciate if y'all smash that like button. Ask some questions if you want. The Goodwood said just got some Z batteries, 5,120. So yeah, it's gonna depend. He said his 5,000 milliamps last him about 15 minutes. With 120C or the 5,000, that's about right. That's pretty good. It depends on what you're running it in, and where you're running them. If you're running these cars, like if you're just all out the full time you're running, yeah, 15 minutes is about right. Especially if you're running off road. And it depends on the gearing and stuff too in the vehicle you're running in. So yeah, Kevin, if you can check out that fire team. I think the fire team is one of the best cars Arma has created. If you don't like the body, I showed you a video where you can just change it out, just buy two of the front body mounts, screw those in, and you're good to go. It surpassed my Mojave. My fire team did. So Kevin said he never had a problem with his 6SX Max in over 6 years. That's cool. Good. Said I saw them problems they were having, Kevin, and I just didn't go for it. I was like, man, forget that. All right, it's gonna be a little Traxxas Hawks time real quick. Trying to center this, so there we go. Any pointers on which car? So you guys are putting a couple comments up, and I'm trying to reposition this somewhat. Jake said, how long should he wait to do diff maintenance on his Haas? I would say if you get it, Traxxas does a good job of putting pretty good oil in their diffs. You could, I don't know, I'd say 15 to 20 runs or so. Depends on the performance of it. You can always kind of pick your car up. And this is not the best test, but you can kind of pick it up and like turn the wheels. And if they turn really, really freely, I mean, if you can just take it and spin it and they just kind of spin, you definitely need diff oil and stuff in there with it. And you could tell by the performance. But I would say after about 15 to 20 runs, go ahead and start looking at your diff oils and just kind of do them one by one, unless you want to just spend an hour and just take them all apart and put it in there. So I think I change mine every couple of months, or at least check them every couple of months. That's why I got to do some maintenance on the Skeeter, because I have never checked that diff oil. So pointers on the Talon, none. Enjoy it. Tires, that's the only thing. You're gonna wear them stock tires out, you run it on road, but other than just some tires and stuff, you're gonna be good to go. Sorry about that remote showing there in the left hand corner. I'm just trying to get this up. So someone said, is the Haas better than a Stampede 4x4? And how do the drive? They're basically, the Haas is an extended Stampede 4x4. I wondered why they didn't call this the Stampede 4x4 2.0, but the Stampede's such an iconic car. So the Haas is a little bit longer. It can fit some better batteries in it. It does have a center diff in it instead of a slipper clutch. And it's a metal gear center diff, so you don't have to worry about stripping those gears out. If you guys can probably barely see that. Probably should go over to driving this rival. At least it's got lights on it. And it comes with better tires. With it, the wheelie bar is not adjustable. I put the Stampede 4x4 wheelie bar on mine, and I added the Traxxas. I call them bling bling wheels, but I put their the TRX wheels on there. It's got ball bearings and stuff on there. But the Haas is just a longer Stampede. That's what it is. And of course, it comes with the clipless body too. And it does perform good. I mean, I like this and the Stampede. You guys know Stampede was my favorite. I was buying those things like every year. So, no recommendation upgrades for the fire team except for the servo. I would say before you drive it, dial down your dual rate steering some, because I think they have it turned up too much. And I would dial it down just a little bit so that you won't strain that servo when you're driving it. Other than trying to get an upgraded servo at some point in time, you should be good. I appreciate it, Kevin. If you're talking about diff oil, I believe you were talking about the Haas. I think for the center diff, you probably would need more than about 50K or something. Probably about 30, 40 for the front, maybe 20 for the rear or something. It may be a little bit thick for this because it's not a big, heavy monster truck. But I would definitely just check them and see what Traxxas recommends. They have some pretty good recommendations in their manuals too. So no, RC Miami asked with the XT90 to Traxxas connected, do you lose a significant amount of power or speed? Not really. It's not going to be a lot you can really see the difference on it. You may lose about a half a mile to a mile. But just make sure the connector you got is not a really long one where it's got wires in between it and all that. I actually have one on my Haas. I'm trying out a new Gen 8 LiPo I just got. I've had it for a minute, and I just haven't had a chance to try it out. And this LiPo actually fits perfect in here. So you guys see this connector that I have here. I never got around to cutting this off and voiding the warranty. I mean, this thing's out of warranty anyway. But I just use this on here. So you guys see that there's no wires that connects between this connector and the Traxxas adapter connector that connects on there. You can find something like that, but just make sure they're actually made of a good high quality. You guys see that there. And there's not that much of a difference. I mean, if you have good lipos and stuff, you're fine. I think if you're racing or drag racing, you definitely don't want to do that. Current wise and all that. Now I got to try to fit this body back on with one hand. There we go. Try this rival for a minute. Hopefully it answers your questions about that. Yes, Kevin, definitely check those diffs. When I ran it a couple times before I actually, all those videos you saw, it had no oil in the diffs. I just put oil in the center diff, and there was some in there. It was cute what was in there, but I can definitely already see a difference. It's getting pretty dark out here, so y'all probably won't see this too much. I can definitely see a difference in the performance. So of course we'll see more when I check the front and rear diffs, because these are the stock tires. And then run this on 4, probably get a 5S, and check 6S too with this, but definitely a difference. So I'd say run it maybe once or twice, kind of enjoy it. And that's the joy of this hobby in these RC cars, is when you run it, you can always go back out and after you do some modifications to it, do some improvements to it, and then you'll see a difference. And I love it when I do that with the car, when you take and you do minor things like changing out the diff oil, and you just see a difference in the performance. It's well worth it. So hopefully that answers your question. I didn't go too long on that. So for my rival, I did put 100K in the front diff. I mean the center diff. I'm gonna do 50 probably for the front and probably about 40 for the rear. Maybe 40, 50 for the rear. I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna do it 50 in front and rear for it. Big old mosquito. I don't know what the top speeds are these. You have to go back to my Super Speed Saturday for these. It's been such a long time since I've run this Haas. I think it's in the mid 40s stock out the box on 3S with stock gearing. Now you can, with this motor, put a 4S speed controller in here and run this on 4S, and this thing will go 50 miles per hour. I think it went 53, 54, the Haas did. I know why Traxxas didn't do that, because it would have been in direct competition to their Traxxas Max, which would have the same speed controller and stuff in it. But I just took the speed controller out. I put a 4S capable speed controller in there, and I left the motor as it was and the gearing as it was, and I ran it on 4S. So if you search my channel, you'll see some videos of this on 4S, and it ran just as fast as my Max did, my Max V1. I got a lot of RC cars, and I don't do videos on my collection, sort of say. There's some people out here who do not even have an RC car. They maybe got one, it's an older one. So for me, it's not so much that I feel guilty or bad or anything like that. For me, I think it's kind of boasting to sit up here and say, look at all these cars I got. You know, that's just me though. That's my personal opinion. I mean, you guys know I have a lot of cars. I do a lot of videos. I try to post every day if I can. Sometimes I'm trying to go live at least once a week, but I got a lot of cars, and I just don't do videos on them all. I'll be getting into boats and planes and quadcopters and stuff really soon, so I'll get into the aerial phenomena, if you guys put it that way, real soon. So stay tuned for that. So Oh, no problem, John. Thanks for subscribing and commenting and watching my videos and being positive on stuff. Yeah, Mike, that's gonna be a hard choice between the Sledge and the Rival. The Rival's gonna save you 300 some dollars. So it's gonna be your discretion. Now the Sledge is looks to be nice. The biggest problem I've seen through a couple of videos is the tires just balloon, and I think I've seen somebody rip them or something. That's gonna be your biggest thing. Is gonna have to replace those tires on there, and that's gonna suck. But I mean, you know, Traxxas does. I love the way their designers design their products. They run smooth and they're good. They got good color schemes and stuff for them. I wish they would actually make a 8 scale two-wheel drive series for their Bandit, for their Rustler, and their Stampede two-wheel drive. That would be awesome. Because Tamiya did that years ago, and if they did a 8 scale size two-wheel drive Bandit, two-wheel drive Rustler, and two-wheel drive Stampede, they got the electronics to do it. I think that would be a good seller because I would definitely probably get all three of them. I mean, imagine having an 8 scale two-wheel drive Bandit or an 8 scale two-wheel drive Stampede. You know, no one's tackled that market of doing a series of cars like that. So, what's going on, Bob's RC? We're live for a few more minutes. We're out here and it's getting a little dark and it's about 8:15. So, we'll stay live for just a little bit more. I know I should probably get more on a schedule of going live, but I just wanted to kind of get these out. So no, it does Willie still. It will Willie still. I just have a 3S in here. I'm running a. It'll still. I think I just did a Willie earlier. It'll still. See, it'll still 3S on Willie. I mean, it'll still Willie on 3S. If you just honk it, it will. If you just try to go all out, it will. And that's largely because of the tires and some of the diff oils. I'll definitely be probably putting a little bit faster servo in here, but at some point. But yeah, it's probably getting too dark for you guys to see it, but I love those lights on there. I was looking at the Traxxas website for a minute earlier today, and I saw those lights on those cars, and it's so tempting. And I was like, man, you got a car down there that's got lights on it. Look at that. That reminds me of Spy Hunter. I don't know if you guys remember that. Spy Hunter with the lights. When you got to that dark mode or that dark stage and you had that one light, it seemed like. That's what that reminds me of. Some of y'all like, Spy Hunter, what's that? Old school video game, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yep, Rival is associated. It sure is. Yeah, 1 mil in that center diff, that's thick. I would not have put 1 mil. I would have did 100K. That's all. It just needs something in there. It doesn't have anything in it. It was dry as a bone. So Kobe says the Creighton 6S or the Sledge 6S. I cannot tell you because I do not own a Sledge. I've owned the Creighton 6S. I've owned 2 or 3 versions of those, and I've owned the EXB, and I love them. I have never owned a Sledge. If I ever get one, I could do a comparison and let you guys know. Take them out, run them in all my different areas, do some speed tests with them and everything. I think some people are kind of doing that out there. So everybody does their own way. But if I ever get one, I'll definitely do a comparison. So. I talked about how many RCs I own. I don't know how many I own. I own some. I own a lot. But I don't do a video on it. Because as I mentioned before, some people don't even have an RC car. They have some of the little small ones. I mean, I've given some RC cars away. I mean, to people at the park and stuff, or kids and stuff like that. But I think it's just, I don't know. For me, it's just kind of boasting, hey, look what I got. And you guys probably will never see a collection video. So. Oh, yeah, some of you guys do remember that Spider. So. Yeah, I'm going to probably stay live for a few more minutes. I was only going to be live for about 10 minutes, but I went a little bit over 10 minutes. I wanted to get this out definitely at night and run it because I thought it'd be cool to get this out. Probably going to look at a light kit for the Hoss. I don't know if I'm going to buy a Traxxas one. I think it's like 50 bucks or just use some lights I got at home that cost like 10 bucks. I got some lights from NZ Hobbies. You guys have seen those on some of my other cars. They're like $10, and I think I may just put those on there. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's in the monthly RC budget. A new month starts tomorrow, so. Oh, appreciate the RC Miami. I need to do more fixing videos while I'm working on stuff, but I don't know when I'll do that. It's just time to do it. I may actually go live tonight. I'm going to work on some of these cars if I can for a few minutes, but I'll probably end up going live a little bit later tonight. Um, I did get my Hobio body painted. I think you guys will like what I did with the Hobio VTE2. So I did get that up painted. I still am going to try to do a better motor in there. I am running a 2200 kV motor. It's not the best motor for running it how I am. So I'll probably do a couple of passes with that for Super Speed Saturday. But I think you guys will like the body that I did. I did a Betty by Design body, and I got a pretty good paint scheme on there. So you guys will see that coming up this Saturday for Super Speed Saturday. I may try this on 6S really soon. I know it's going to be crazy on 6S, but I got the adjustable wheelie bar to keep it down. So y'all, I gotta get ready to jet up out of here. I wanted to say what's up to y'all, go live for a few minutes, answer any questions. If anybody's got a quick question, I will answer it real quick. What's going on? I can't, I don't want to say your username wrong. You want to just comment it, Sir Thiesel. I think I'm probably saying that wrong, but so what's going on? What's going on from Malaysia? People are in the house, so sorry y'all catching this kind of late. I'm gonna actually end this, but I'll probably try to go live a little bit later tonight if I can. I'm gonna wrench on some of these cars for a few minutes, but you guys can kind of go back to see what's going on. So I appreciate that, Dean. I'll answer this last question. Best lineup in RC. I'm not sure if you're asking for all across the board or what. So I appreciate that, no quarters. Yeah, you got to get a wheelie bar for that. So, I think that as far as a lineup goes, and it's because they haven't changed anything, Traxxas is probably right now got the best all-around lineup because they still have a two-wheel drive series and they still offer some brush series. So they kind of give people a variety of a two-wheel drive, brushed or brushless, and then a four-wheel drive, brushed or brushless. So they kind of give you monster trucks and stuff. Arma has yet to re-release their two-wheel drive versions. Hopefully we'll see that this year to put a little bit more competition on the table. But as far as all around goes, they have one of the better lineups out there. They need to work on their X01. I think if they do a X02 or whatever, they'll do good with that. But all around, I think they would be probably the better for all around. And then Arma's going to be behind them. They just need to get their two-wheel drive lineup back out. I think if they get their two-wheel drive lineup, it'll be good. Team Corrali also has some two-wheel drive lineups, but they're not as popular, and you can't find parts everywhere for it. So hopefully that kind of answers your question with that. Yeah, people are saying last day for the Armor sale. Yep, it's today. Today is the last day to get that. So Old School Racer, hey, what's going on? I did nitro and gas for a little bit. I'll stay on for about another minute because I have to get off. But there's city ordinances everywhere I go here in Georgia. So it's either too loud or some people may be allergic to the smoke or get sick off of it. So, yep, SG, we all wait on that Armor Forest lineup. So, I mean, Armor's got a good across the board, but I think if they tackle the two-wheel drive market again, I think they'll do good with that. I mean, they had the Raider, the Vortex, then they had an 8-scale Raider. So I think if they get back on that lineup and get that pumping back out, I think people will want to see that. You know, start off with maybe one or two and then start releasing them as the years progress forward. So Kyosho is, but see, Kyosho is kind of hard to get parts for them. It's just like Tamiya with their stuff. It's kind of hard. You break apart, it's kind of hard to find parts for them. And it's kind of hard to keep their stuff is not staying in stock because of course shipments overseas and stuff. So Yeah, so well, guys, I have to get off of here. I appreciate you guys joining and smashing that like button. Stay tuned for some more videos. Super Speed Saturday coming up. I may try to go live with the Super Speed Saturday. So appreciate you guys joining, and I'll see you in the next live video.